Hey everybody, Opinionated Idiot here, and welcome back to the channel. Gee, I have caused a lot of controversy over the last couple of days of the videos I have dropped regarding Dylan Mortensen, but I do appreciate everybody coming over, subscribing to the channel, commenting, and just giving me your, active feedback on those videos, because I always say that everybody has a right to their own opinion. In this video today, I actually was scrubbing around. I found a very fascinating video dropped on the News Nation Banfield segment, and what she has is a digital forensics expert that comes to her panel. What they're going to talk about and what we're going to find out in this video is that Kaylee had a Bluetooth speaker in her room. This is really good because what this is going to do is, as we know, our cell phones or our iPhones or Android devices have Bluetooth capability, and they're always trying to connect to devices around them if that Bluetooth is turned on. What he's going to talk about here is that another thing is leaving behind a digital footprint. So let's just say perhaps you go to a hotel, you go on vacation, you connect to maybe some certain devices in that room, you leave, and you ever notice when you come back, if you ever go back to that hotel, your phone is trying to reconnect to those certain devices. So this is all good evidence as far as a digital footprint, because if Kohberger was in that house and his Bluetooth was on, it may have connected or tried to connect to some of those devices in the house, which would put him inside that residence the night in question, and is going to be some really good evidence for the prosecution. So let's pull up this video. We'll walk through it and see what you guys think.
When I said I want to get into the nitty gritty, that's Clark Walton's space. He is a principal forensics and cybersecurity expert for Reliance Forensics. He's board certified in data security. He's a former cybersecurity analyst for the CIA. He's also a former prosecuting attorney. Mwah, chef's kiss. You are perfect, Clark, for this. Get me sort of on and off the ledge on this, because I always want to know that there's lots of evidence. If you're going to bring a guy in and charge him with quadruple murder, I want to know that there's lots of really good evidence.
I'm going to stop this really quick, because that has been the point that I've tried to get across to everybody here. What we've seen in the probable cause affidavit is not all of the evidence. I'm telling you, there is much more detailed evidence that we haven't even heard or seen yet. And, if this goes to trial, all of that will come out. So let's keep playing through here and see what this gentleman says.
This would seem like it would put a guy right in the room alongside the DNA on the knife sheath. But why might it not work? Let's just look at the other side. Why might this not work?
Right. So your phone, as you know, when you're walking around with it, it is trying to talk to the rest of the world any number of ways, right? Bluetooth and your cellular antenna and near field communication. But it doesn't necessarily mean that those attempted handshakes that you just referenced are necessarily being recorded. Not every single action that your phone takes is necessarily going to stick with that phone. If a forensic examiner were to look at it days, weeks, months later, yes, that handshake could have occurred, but is there going to be a record of it on the device that a forensic examiner can pull back?
Okay, so let me take that one step further, and I'm going to just be full disclosure here. I am a complete idiot when it comes to this stuff. I have to hit all the buttons 100 times and then reset just to get something to work. But I do know this, my phone is connected to my Bluetooth speaker, and my phone knows when I go from portrait to landscape, and it keeps that as a record, as I learned in the Murdoch trial. What if Kaylee's speaker was connected to her phone? Because presumably they're all up on the third floor, right? You're going to have your phone upstairs when you go to bed, even if you're 50 feet away in the other bedroom. Will that perhaps keep a record?
That would keep a record. And so have you ever noticed, you'll spend a night in a hotel and you'll not come back to that hotel for months, and then you'll go back to that hotel and it will automatically connect your phone back to Wi-Fi like you'd been there the day before. Your iPhone does keep a record of what Wi-Fi networks you've connected to, certain information about those networks, the name, the password, the last date and time, importantly, potentially for this case, the last date and time that phone was connected to that Wi-Fi network. And the same works for Bluetooth as well. It keeps a listing of Bluetooth assets that you have connected to at a certain point in the past in time. So let's say hypothetically, at some point in the past, Kohberger's phone had initiated or completed a handshake with really any other device in proximity to that house. Coming back in close proximity to that house, even if the phone were in airplane mode, as was pointed out, that Bluetooth connection may likely still be enabled, and that handshake could occur. That evidence would stay on the phone, and that's something that a forensic examiner could later take and say, yes, this phone was within Bluetooth communication of this speaker, this micro.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, can you only imagine if that digital footprint is there and it places Kohberger within feet or inches of that Bluetooth speaker? Let's keep playing on here.
Wave, this, thermostat, that type of thing at this point in time.
This is probably a yes or no, but if the speaker is turned off, does it still emit a Bluetooth signal, or is off when it comes to
off is off?
Yeah.
Off is off.
Okay. How about the car? Let's talk about this 2015 Elantra. Some people have said they don't have the infotainment system. Some people have said they do. So maybe it's kind of, haphazard on the 2015. But if Kohberger gets into his Elantra with his phone, right? Because he's driving. We already know he had his phone with him because well, at least according to the authorities, he is driving out of Pullman or around, Pullman at 2:48, 2:47, I think I said the time was. Look, 2:47 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then he, hauls back in and is back online. He basically turns the phone back on or does whatever at 4:48 a.m. If he's in that car, is it going to handshake him to the car? Because right now we know an Elantra that belongs to him was at the murder scene, and a defense attorney will say, who was driving? Did you see him behind the wheel? But if his phone connected to his Bluetooth and went to the murder scene, now that's a whole other kettle of fish.
Yeah, there may very likely be a record of that. I mean, the data that I've seen in the public record is based of where he was is based on the cell tower pinging, the location, which is much less accurate and much more, covers a greater area than the Bluetooth communication. Obviously.
So that's a good point by this expert. Even though we have the pinging of the cell towers, he's even saying that it's not a rock solid thing that he was in that area. And I think that the defense is going to attack that credibility or expose that information, the pinging of the cell phone towers, is not that strong. So that's something that they're gonna put forward and put into evidence. But shoring up that kind of what they're talking about, that handshake with Bluetooth, the connection, or a possible connection, is going to put you more a solid case that you were in a specific area or in a specific room or somewhere around this particular device that was trying to interact with it.
So you have to be much closer to a device to ping off of that with your phone. And there are records of that kept in the device, in the phone. Sorry, I'm looking down at my iPhone here, I guess expecting it to do something. But yes, I mean, we have seen we've worked.
Amazing how attached we are to our phones. I mean, even in the probably the grandest of stagers right now, even some do get distracted. I notice that I do that myself when I'm streaming or shooting a video.
Other types of cases, other types of homicides, cases where car accident cases, a lot of times you'll see a Bluetooth was activated and started playing music or something like that. And then a car accident occurs moments later. I mean, that's a fairly common thing to see.
It fascinates me to think that somebody could think, well, I'm just going to turn my phone off and I'll go dark. But that phone stayed more than likely light if it were connected to the car, and then that car continued on its merry way. So the footprint would continue even though the cell towers lost him. All of this allegations, he has the right to remain innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But man, this evidence, it's pretty fascinating stuff. Hey, Clark, thank you for this. I said you were the right person and I was right. Will you come back again?
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Okay, that was from Banfield on News Nation. What do you all think? Do you think the Bluetooth connection could place Kohberger in that residence or around in the area? Leave your comments down below. I'd love to see what you all think of this possible connection. Also, make sure to check out my live streams every Sunday and Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please make sure to comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And also, I have memberships there down below. You just have to hit the join button and you can subscribe and help this channel for just $2 a month. I really would appreciate it. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this video today. I am the Opinionated Idiot. Appreciate your time. And like I always say, opinions are like assholes and everybody's got one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.